This is Janie with Cerberus German Shepherds, and today I want to talk about pricing a litter. And this is one of the number one mistakes, well, not number one, but one of the bigger mistakes I see is, and this is our Lucy from our last litter in 2019, is that when I speak to and I mentor new breeders, number one, they underestimate the cost and overestimate the demand. So what do I mean is that, people, I've seen on the breeder boards, how much do I charge for my pups? It starts with cost, number one. Now let me go ahead and let me back up and talk about what I call sticker shock, and some people don't know what that means. Our next litter, which we expect to come in next month, is $1,800 to $12 or $2,000, okay? And our stud fee was $3,000. Now, we're going to get into the mechanics of this, and as I said, well, if I haven't mentioned, I'm a CPA and MBA. I may not know about breeding, but I sure know about demand, and I aid and rescue a lot, and I understand the demand. See, like today. So what most people who are new to the breed will, 500 is in their brain, okay? All right. That's a puppy in a pulse that looks like a German Shepherd. And let's talk about those costs. I just finished my tax return. I had litter of 12. I had $6,400 in direct cost and $4,400 in indirect cost because I keep my owners on the books. We're going to get to that in a moment. Folks, if you're a new breeder and they don't have papers or anything and you don't have a reputation, you're not going to get $1,000 for them. If you think you are, good for you, because that normally doesn't happen. What most people, and I had one today, they called me and they said, hey, how much is your next litter? And we said $1,800 to $2,000, and she asked for the litter. I said no, for the pup. My husband did. So, new breeders, because it's a German Shepherd, don't expect $1,000, okay? Because even at my price point, and I have a lot of bells and whistles, which I'm going to get into, I get run through the ringer because people who pay that kind of money, they overlooked a lot of other breeders that were cheaper than I am. What did I bring to the table? So moral of the story is, number one, and let's be honest, folks, CKC ain't doing anything for you, AKC, okay? And not just the parents, but things. And so this litter, sires IPO3, both parents are health tested, OFA hips good, elbows normal, we got DM testing, health guarantees, and we take our dogs back and stuff. So I put in a lot of bells and whistles, and so when you come to me, they say, well, that's too high, and my response to you is, just because it's out of your budget doesn't make me overvalued or overpriced. So I don't make an apology of that. Here's a hint, folks. You're going to get a $500 owner, you're going to have some headaches because they are going for the lowest price. There's something to be said for impulsivity and wherewithal, and we take back our dogs and we chip our dogs and all of those things. So for you new breeders, the best thing I can tell you is, if you think that the dog, you have no reputation and that pup is just two German Shepherds, you're not going to get $1,000. You're just not. You're going to get $500 and a lot of headache, and let's talk about those costs. Oh man, do those costs build up. So, and some will move them at 6 weeks and stuff. I know a lot of breeders who stop after the first or second because they were getting overwhelmed with cost and they thought they were going to get $1 gazillion because it was a German Shepherd, and from somebody who our owners visits and they follow us and we follow them for a year and we indoor whelp, you don't bring any value other than that's just a German Shepherd that looks like one without paper, nothing, no pedigree, title, health test, nothing, nothing that makes you special. You're not going to get the money you expect. So my point to you is, number one, you have to start with your costs. And even at minimum, you're looking at a few $100s, depending on, even if you own the stud and stuff like that. So you're looking at $200, $300. Us, we spend about $900 margin on a pup. But the point is that I also have great owners. Now, I could go higher at $2,500, but we take back our dogs, and so we don't give them to where whoever's willing to pay. So there's something to that. That's a different hierarchy. But we don't fail our dogs twice, so I don't go higher. I go high enough that that's fair. And I know I could go higher and ship and whatever. How about that's not me? I follow my owners for a year. I care where my dogs go. So anyway, the moral of this story is it's going to be based on your cost. And if there's nothing that is special about that dog, and forgive me, dog isn't papered, pedigree, titled, health tested. You don't have a reputation. You don't have a following. And I'm talking about AKC, guys. Sorry, CKC doesn't mean much. I apologize, but it just doesn't. So just don't expect a lot if you don't bring anything to the table. And Lucy ran off. Thanks so much.